You are listening to Take Back with Zac, where we cover the hottest topics in the sporting world, including deep dives into the greatest teams to ever exist, the Lakers, the Chargers, and the Anaheim Angels, as well as all the news from around the world of sports. Live Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 1 to 4 p.m., and nightly following NBA playoff games. On today's show, we're going to be covering the NFL schedule, a Stanley Cup update. We're doing a preview for tonight's NBA games. I have a couple of top 5 lists to send your guys' way. I have notes around the league, around the world of pop culture, music, movies, everything for you guys on this beautiful, beautiful May 15th Friday. But before we get into any of that, we start this show the exact same way every day with the verse of the day. Today's verse comes to you from Ecclesiastes 11, verse 5 right here. Focus in. Just as you cannot understand the path of the wind or the mystery of a tiny baby growing in its mother's womb, so you cannot understand the activity of God, who does all things. Plant your seed in the morning and keep busy all afternoon, for you do not know if profit will come from one activity or another, or maybe both. Brother, get after it, dog. There is mystery and insight everywhere. All you can really do is start your day with a plan, and you execute it, and you see what grows from that. In addition to the verse of the day, we also do the movie of the day. Today's movie is Shawshank Redemption. Ew, I hate how I'm holding it with my pinky right now. Holding it the worst way anyone's ever held a DVD right now. Just pinky. Look on the backside. I'm doing like the Boy Scout salute on the backside. Shawshank Redemption. It absorbs us and takes away from. Sorry. You're watching a film. I admired it even more. Roger Ebert. This is a movie about guys who go to prison. There's no blurb on the back. All right, Shawshank Redemption, fellas. What's up, Fit Krill? We're going to get after it today in just one moment. Let's press play on the movie, and let's get started with today's Power Hour. Here we go, fellas. Lock in. Last night was our first night without basketball in many moons, and brother, OMG, it was so nice to not have to worry about getting in front of my TV and taking game notes and then going live to be asked incessantly, where do you think LeBron is going to play next year? By 13-year-olds up way past their bedtimes. Man, it was just nice to have a night off. Instead of lazily sashaying around my house without a thing to do, I went to the movies with my brothers and saw the film Obsession. In the directorial debut for Curry Barker it was the directorial debut for filmmaker Curry Barker and far from the last film that we see from him. The movie was fantastic. It was well penned, the acting was great, and the actual fear-inducing moments were some of the best I have seen from the horror genre in a long time. The world was introduced to Curry Barker, Cooper Tomlinson, and Indy Navarrete. But many of you already know who these talented young men are. Cooper and Curry are the stars and creative breath behind That's a Bad Idea, a sketch comedy channel that has amassed billions of views and ultimately the eye of some very big names in Hollywood. I met Cooper and Curry in 2023, and we began collaborating on some sketch ideas together. They are truly, legit, some of the funniest and nicest men I've come across from my time working in the industry. Cooper and Curry are the type of guys that will work with anybody and anything as long as they are behind the project, as long as they like the idea. They show up on time, they know their lines, they do their job. Curry and Cooper are two of the better people that I've ever worked with in my life, and two guys that I want to work with for a long time. The question is, how do you go from creating vertical comedy TikToks to having the #1 movie in America? Simply put, balls. Curry made a film called Milk and Honey for $1,000 and put it up on YouTube for free. This was like 2 years ago. It was a very self-contained horror film that revolved around character and story rather than big, expensive stunts. He created a film within his means, and within a week, the film had gone super viral on YouTube and was instantly popular among horror fans. An investor stumbled across it and gave Curry a 7-figure check to make another movie. That movie is now in theaters, and it's called Obsession. The film premiered at TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, and absolutely crushed with the audience. Focus Features and Blumhouse picked it up for distribution and even gave Barker a first-look deal for his upcoming projects. They also made him the director of the revamp of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. Curry and Cooper are off to massive things, and I wanted to take a moment to congratulate and offer my thanks for inspiring me to be the man leading the charge. All this to say, nobody told them what to do. These are 25-year-old guys that are now directing and starring in films that you get to see at your local Regal or AMC. They have made it to the big time. They believed in themselves and turned confidence and insane talent into becoming bona fide working directors and actors on Hollywood's biggest stage. I think it's important to remember this lesson. Nobody can force you to be great. You must be the greatness that you wish to see. Speaking of greatness, Drake dropped 3 albums last night for no reason at all other than the fact that he's Drake and he can. Bro, I got out of the movie last night and Twitter is absolutely blowing up. I'm like, did Giannis get traded? Like, what happened? It reminded me of when Luka Doncic went on the move. I'm like, wait. I knew Iceman was coming out. Bro dropped 3 albums. Bro, anyone else drops 100 songs in a day and we're like, man, I ain't got time to listen to all that. But Drake does it and everyone turns into Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have some more? I'm sorry. I don't know if it's a West Coast thing. Listen. Let's just pump the brakes real quick. You're going to call me a hater. You're going to say I'm a hater. What's up, Candy? All right. I don't know what that means. I don't know if this is a West Coast thing, but I've never really listened to a Drake album all the way through. I'm not hating, but there's something weird about East Coast people and Drake that us on the West Coast just do not really share. I went to school in Boston and was shocked when every person in this sweaty basement frat party knew every single word to Pound Cake, not realizing people actually love Drake this much. Listen, my favorite thing about him and the part that I can respect the most, every rapper gets so bored of music, it feels like, and seems to like go their mogul ways rather than just trying to make great tunes. Drake has always been about the music, man, and providing for his fans when other rappers don't. They all get tired of the repetition and go experimental or start a label or a fashion line. Drake has always been about the music, and I absolutely respect that. Now, dropping 3 albums in a night is crazy behavior. Dropping 3 albums in a single night is the equivalent to the NFL doing a surprise third-place game the day before the Super Bowl with the conference championship runner-ups. That would be awesome. Can I advocate for a third-place game? I don't know what they're going to win. I don't know what they're going to get. I would just like to, on behalf of football fans around the world, I think there should be a third-place game that gets played on Saturday before the Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl comes around, everyone's like locked in on the Super Bowl. It's kind of cool, you know what I mean? We're all excited, but there's only one game. It's a 2-week lead up to like one game. You know, 2 teams get to play. It's fun and everything, but usually Super Bowl Sunday ends up being like one of the more boring times of the football season. What up, Eris? My guy. First-time chatter. He's here. I think doing a third-place game for the conference runner-ups in the NFL, dude, on the Saturday before the Super Bowl, bonkers idea. For a reward, I think they should either get to choose between never playing another international game, getting a second bye, or like moving up in the draft somehow, because the teams are not going to want to do it. But I absolutely am sitting here advocating for a third-place game. All the other sports do it. You know, the Olympics does it. If the Olympics does it, that was a horrible example. Well, yeah, what's the NFL ever taken from the Olympics, aside from playing all of their games internationally? I've got notes on the international games. We're making them all in London and Germany and Spain. Brother, put it in Mumbai. Do an international game in Pyongyang. The man from Canada took the Twitter world by storm last night and will most likely prove to be the early sound of the summer. Canada's got to be proud of their man and their great game of hockey that continues to deliver. It would be the loser of the Super Bowl also get something. Huh. Well, they'd be second place. They don't get anything. They get a second place trophy. They get maybe a medal, right? We could design a medal for them. You know what we should do? You know how the winner of the Super Bowl goes to the White House? I think the loser of the Super Bowl should go to TBWZ. Like, they should come to our studio, to TBWZ headquarters, and like tour our HQ. Maybe you could meet the governor of Louisiana or something. Let's get the governor of, or the mayor of Oklahoma City. That's what we should do. Okay. A lot of people are talking about like OKC, right? Obviously, they're a hot topic in the NBA world. I've been mercilessly making fun of Oklahoma City just for being Oklahoma City. And that, hand up, that's mean. I'm being nasty and rude to the people of Oklahoma, the great people of Oklahoma. Okies? Is that what they're called? I think the loser of the Super Bowl should go visit the mayor of Oklahoma City. While the other team parades and gets the White House, the runner-up should go to OKC and meet the mayor there. Second place is the first loser. We need to figure out a good destination for them to go. Obviously, the champion gets Disneyland and the White House. I think second place should get, like, I don't know, Cedar Rapids and like a tour of, like, Annapolis, of, like, the Naval Academy. That'd be kind of cool. Or maybe a trip to, like, Boomers or something. Or Dave and Buster's. How come these NFL guys are going to Disneyland instead of Dave and Buster's? Yeah, you got it. We are called the Okies. Florida, maybe. Yeah, maybe they can go to Florida. Just go to Miami. Let's send them to Mexico. The place where we're seeing that Oreo. Thank you, brother. Oreo the cat, chat of the day so far. The place where Rossini and Vrabel went is exactly where they're going, dude. We officially, TBWZ is now sending the loser, the runner-up of the Super Bowl. You get a one-way ticket to the resort in Sonoma, Arizona, where Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel were straight up canoodling. I think that's the initiative. And then we're going to host TBWZ live from Sonoma at the resort where Vrabel and Rossini were caught canoodling. And they get to meet me. And we're going to bring the mayor of OKC in as well. And then maybe like the creative director behind the movie the Michael Jackson movie. Shout out to Michael Jackson, okay? We're talking a lot about Drake and Canada, and I would be remiss not to mention the greatest Canadian export of all, hockey, brother. Somewhere they can reflect and get better. TK, I absolutely love that. Send the whole team to a resort, like a spa. You know what I mean? Don't go to Disneyland. Don't see the kids. We're not getting drunk. We're going to a spa. We're locking in. We're meditating. We're doing those weird suction cup things. We're putting hot stones in our back for no reason. We're wearing a towel. No undies. We're going full commando mode. And we're just like, we're draining the loss out of us. And we're going to implement and bring in an incense and a myrrh surrounded by winning. Send them to Cancun. We could also do that. They can also just go on vacation to Cancun. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Western Conference is set for the playoffs as the mighty Avalanche Talking.com. Avalanche will take on the Golden Knights in what should be a crazy fun 7-game series. And on the other side, Carolina awaits the winner of Montreal and Buffalo. Listen, guys, I'm going to say something. You guys are going to get very, very mad at me. You're going to get very mad at me. This take might age very, very poorly, very, very quickly, but I am 1,000,000% rooting for the Canadians in this thing. I'm sorry, Buffalo Bill. I am 1,000,000% rooting for the Canadians to win the entire Stanley Cup. This team was founded in 1909. They're the only NHL team to predate the league itself. They are so old, the original team founder and owner, Ambrose Obrien, first of all, great name. Ambrose Obrien, that is a great name. That is a rich name. Bro, you got to go visit Mr. O'Brien. Mr. Ambrose O'Brien will give you the bank loan. Ambrose O'Brien is the type of guy that gives you a bank loan and then like 3 days later asks for his money back. And you're like, but sir, I've barely gotten the grounds ready. I don't care. Give me my money or your head. Ambrose O'Brien was born in 1885, brother. OMG, he's older than dirt. Where's my fart? My farts are all off. Sorry, I got to reorganize my fart machine. Let me see if this is accurate. Yeah, we're good. He was born in 1885, sorry. The number one song in Britain at the time when he died was, "And I think to myself, what a wonderful world." Bro, that's how old he is. Louis Armstrong was bumping on the airwaves last time our boy was breathing. I know I'm a red-blooded, thank you. I'm a red-blooded, non-leaning American. I'm a centrist, brother. I stand right in the middle. I straddle the fence in between and my balls hurt. It's pretty good. I'm a red-blooded, non-leaning American, but Canada needs to win the Stanley Cup, brother. They do. In my lifetime, every single Stanley Cup champion has been an American team. 1992. That was the last time they won it. 34 years ago, the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup in their sport. Isn't everyone red-blooded? It's a good question. We'll put it on a poll. Isn't everybody red-blooded? 34 years ago was the last time a Canadian team won their sport. I know I should be smashing a Budweiser over my head and celebrating America for just being good at the war on ice. Not the war on ice, but like the war on the ice. The war on ice is very self-contained and just a U.S. problem. Canada deserves a dub. Listen, us beating them in Cortina was such an amazing victory that I think the country just needs healing. They are our brothers of the North. We should slightly care about them. Drake dropping 3 albums is going to help, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say the country itself would turn all of those albums back in if it meant a Stanley Cup was on the way. Canada is an awesome country, and they love their hockey up there. I know I'm in the silent American minority, but I would love to see a Canada team lift the cup. Now, listen. Before people come at me for being a total hater, a Canadian apologist, a certified lover boy, I'm about to say something that is much, much worse than thinking Canada should win the Stanley Cup. But just know, before I say it, I am 100% correct in saying the NFL schedule release is stupid and it means nothing for the entire NFL. It's stupid. The schedule release is dumb. I am being such a hater. I'm being such a loser. Drake may have went 0 for 3. I'll listen to him later. The NFL schedule release has got to go, brother. It is so stupid. Aside from seeing who my team plays and like when the bye week is, none of it means a single thing. I already have people telling me how awesome like week 9 is going to be. And I'm like, brother, you have no idea who's even going to be healthy and playing in that game. Everyone this time last year was fired up to see like Bengals and like Joe Burrow against Aaron Rodgers, right? Week 7, okay? And then we got the Joe Flacco Unk Bowl instead. Everyone went from excited to see Burrow versus Rodgers, then super mad that it was going to be Joe Flacco and Aaron, and then so pumped that it was one of the best games of the year. You don't know anything. You get excited for a schedule, and then all the players get hurt, and then you get sad. And then the game ends up being great. You have no idea what's coming, and the NFL schedule doesn't tell us anything. It is such a tease and doesn't give us any real information on the upcoming season, aside from when our bye weeks are, and how short is Trevor Lawrence's hair going to be by the time playoffs start. It was a wig, too. That's another thing. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. The videos are cool. Obviously, like the Chargers social media team continues to be the best of the best and lead the way in the NFL, and all other social media teams just have to follow. The Jags did a schedule release with Trevor Lawrence getting his hair cut, and it was like the cut. And they'd cut some hair, and they would cut to the ground and show like, oh, what team they're playing. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh, Trevor Lawrence is getting his hair cut. Oh, I'm such a big NFL fan. Wow, he's getting a haircut. It's funny, too, because my analysis last year was Trevor Lawrence would be a better quarterback if he had a normal haircut. And then he got it, and I looked at him, and I was like, oh, gosh, never mind. He just got way worse. Here I am thinking that a buzz cut would help his QBR. Nah. He needs that long hair. I was happy, though, of the fact that this man was willing to do this and like turn a new page, new head coach, new team. Here we go. We were pretty good last year. We made the playoffs. We're trying to do something great this year. I'm going to become a man and cut my stupid Goldilocks hair off that I've had since I was 12 years old, winning high school state championships in Texas. Last time he won anything good. Actually, didn't he win a national championship with Clemson? Let's just forget that I said that part. It was a wig. Ooh, oh no. They used a wig for the shoot and not his real hair. That's stupid. So they just teased us with being like, hey, our boyish quarterback who throws a lot of picks and isn't very good, he just became a man and cut his hair off. And I was like, okay, I can respect him now. He looks uglier, but I can respect him now. He low-key looks like a, dude, he'd be a very hot woman. If you made, right? What quarterback would be the hottest woman? Probably 9. Not gonna lie, it's probably 9. Dude, there's a website out there called Start 9. They're like Minnesota Vikings fans have literally created petitions to start 9. To start 9. Caleb Williams would be the hottest at Oreo, the hottest woman. I have one more hour on my shift. JD, we'll see you in a little bit, bro. Cannot wait for that. He went from Trevor to Kyle. It's funny because Trevor Wallace is Kyle, and Kyle is Trevor Wallace, which is funny. So Trevor to Kyle. It was a wig. It was fake. That's just such bad juju for a team. That tells me that you don't actually take yourself seriously. If your quarterback's not willing to actually get his hair cut for the stupid schedule release video, I don't think he's actually willing to win. I think it's a direct reflection of the way the Jaguars franchise is viewed around the world. Sucks for them, too. They have like 9 weeks in a row where they play only 3 times at home. That's tough. Kings of London. The Chargers social media team absolutely balled out on their Halo video. It was the only good one. They were the only ones who kind of like made a jab at Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. As the Heath Thagala hits out of the bunker at the PGA Championship, we're locked in on golf, brother. My team rocks. Your team plays with paint. Literally, the Jets video was them literally mixing paint together, and although it was satisfying, was probably the cheapest video out there, and the only one where after every single team was revealed, I said L. Whenever the schedule release videos drop and I watch them, I go W, L, W, L, W, L. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a lot of W and L'ing today. Every single time the Jets opponent popped up, I was like, L. Ooh, Tennessee, L. Oh, L. L, 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 L. I think they might go 0-16. They might lose every game. I mean, it's one thing to suck on the field for 2 decades. It's another thing to even be bad at making content off the field. What a sorry organization. I'm sorry, man. I know I harp on Jets fans a lot. I feel like we need to do something in America, right? We need to do a lot of things in America. When I run for president one day, we'll make massive change across the world. But one thing I'm going to implement, if your team does not make the playoffs for 10 years straight, you have to sell your team. I'm not even sorry. That's ridiculous. To not make the playoffs 10 years in a row is actually difficult to do. I feel like it's not easy. Even the Jets tried to make the playoffs. There's a poll. Oreo put one up. Isn't everyone red-blooded? Make sure you guys vote on the poll so I know at the end. Oh, you already put it up. How do I vote? Oh, the poll ended. Yes got 11 votes and no got 7 votes. Wow. I didn't even know I had 18 people in here. That's so sick. You guys are the best, I think. For all of you who voted twice, shame on you. You realize if that team was not in New York City, they probably would have been sold off and shipped away to Saskatchewan by now. Which, honestly, Roger Goodell would probably love, dude, given the fact that he loves and adores these international games so much. Dude, the initiative to make the NFL global is all backed by the idea of spending millions of dollars to send our product overseas and showcase a typically, horrible version of our game to these people. A bunch of people who are just confused about the fact that the players are using their hands in the sport. You know, the imperialistic nature of Roger Goodell is something all true Americans can get behind, as world domination has always been a tea kettle whistling away on the back burner of every American's mind. I just think the NFL is choosing really backwards places to play these games. Australia? Germany? Spain? Brother, we're not on vacation. We're trying to grow the game and showcase our great sport to the people around the world. That might not be clued into what we're doing. That might not be clued into the glory of the gridiron. Why are we not playing these games in India? No games in Manila or Pyongyang? If Goodell was smart, he would be playing our international games in a dirt field in the center of New Delhi surrounded by millions of Indian people. Put a turf field in Turkmenistan. Really grow the game. The places we're playing now are all countries ruled by white people with iPhones who already know the NFL exists. Could you imagine setting up shop in Nairobi, Kenya, and doing some direct recruiting, all while truly showcasing the game to people who have never seen it before? Before I die, I need an NFL expansion team in New Delhi, India. Oh, there we go, Oreo. I just think I'm fired up for football, brother. But before I get too ahead of myself, let's cover tonight's NBA playoff games. As we got 2 games tonight, 2 game 6s, win or go home, Cavs and Pistons, and Spurs and T-Wolves. Brother, I'm excited to see these last couple of games shake out of round 2. New York and OKC are already waiting to see their matchups, and I think they're getting a little bit antsy. I would love to see both these series end tonight so we can get a nice 2-day break. You just kept triple clicking? I love it. But either way, I think we're going to get some very, very exciting basketball games tonight. We've seen both of these teams with their backs against the wall absolutely show up. Whether it was when Detroit was down 3-1 to Orlando, somehow, or when Minnesota was down in this series against the Nuggets without their best player. Facing... they weren't even down. That was a horrible, horrible take. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to move on. Somehow, some way, the Cavs won a road game on Wednesday and are all the way back to potentially being the best team in the Eastern Conference. Here's a little stat for you guys. Through the first 3 games, the Cavs doubled Cade a total of 12 times. 12 times through 3 games. I'm not the best at math, but I whipped out my calculator. Calculator? There's an L in there, brother. I whipped out my calculator. There's not an L in the Chargers' schedule, though. I did the whole thing. Dubs every single stretch of the way. I have 1 loss on the Chargers' schedule, and it's to the Texans in Week 9, just because we could never beat the Texans. But yeah, 15-1 or 16-1 for the Chargers. I'll reveal that in a little bit. They doubled Cade 12 times in the first 3 games. In the last 2 games, they've doubled him 33 times. The Pistons obviously won the first 2 games, which means they won, 5 games in a row after going down 3-1. They were able to rattle off 5 wins in a row, and now they've lost their last 3 games to the Cavs. I just want to say, in that game on Wednesday, the Cavs completely collapsed. Bad call aside, they should have never been in a position to lose that game. Jalen Duren has become unplayable as JB Bickerstaff sat him for the entire fourth quarter and overtime. This is an all-star player. This guy was supposed to be the second option for Cade Cunningham on a number 1 seed and has completely disappeared. He's had a rough playoffs, no doubt, but getting benched in crunch time of a semifinal Game 5 is something I was not thinking we would see. Duncan Robinson being out for them really hurt this team as he's become a big-time three-point threat for them, and Tobias Harris has slowly kind of drifted away from the spotlight. This series has been back and forth the whole way and flip-flopped 100 different ways, but it clearly looks like Cleveland is trending upwards and Detroit is reverting back to who they were early against the Magic. It's a tough one to call, bro. At the beginning of the playoffs, you guys have heard me say this a million times, I chose the Cavs to win the entire thing because I thought the Cavs were probably the best team. Oh, I just had a horrible memory. I have my notes up right now from when we were doing, on Wednesday, we did an amazingly fun show on Twitch. Such a good time. I forgot I have the scores right here of everything. And I forgot Slade gave me a 7.5. Wow. Slade gave me a 7.5, and then Blake absolutely put me in last place as well, and I thought mine was the best. My blood is powder blue and yellow. Slinger, let's go, dude. Let's go. I'm doing the win-loss for the Chargers in a little bit, and I have them at 16-1. The only game I was like, that's an L, was the game against the Texans because we never beat the Texans, but either way, I'm excited for the NBA tonight. Cavs and Pistons is going to be tough, bro. I do not know. It could shake out either way. I'm leaning towards this idea that the Cavs keep the momentum going, but Detroit with their back up against the wall, that is a scary team to have facing elimination. I think we're destined to get one of these series to go 7. I don't think they both end tonight. And so for that reason, I think I'm going to take the Pistons in tonight's game, but I would not be shocked if the Cavs continue their undefeated road record in the playoffs. The other game, the Spurs and the Wolves, brother, that series was fun while it lasted, but win or lose tonight, the Spurs are absolutely winning this series, bro. I know they've got the 2 losses against Minnesota. They were close, tough losses. One without Wemby. The games they've won, though, they have completely blown out Minnesota. I know it looks like a close series on paper, but point differential-wise, oh my gosh, the Spurs are dominating Minnesota. I just don't see a world where they have enough firepower to get past these dudes. It seems like every night there's a new guard that shows up for San Antonio. One night it's De'Aaron Fox. The other night it's Harper. Then we get a Vassell or a Castle in there or a Keldon Johnson. Luke Cornett has 12 points and 6 boards. What do we do? This team every single night brings a new guy off the bench that seems to show up. And they play a really solid rotation of 12. Listen, this happened with Philly against New York. Philly was rotating 8, and New York was rotating 12. We see it with Minnesota. They have 8 dudes that play on this team, and that's just not enough to rest. By the time the fourth quarter comes around, their guys are totally gassed, and the Spurs are fresh and ready to play basketball still. Do you think the Lakers got robbed or do bad ref calls? I don't know whether to be truthful or to just be a Homer Laker fan. I'll give you both takes. Yeah, the Lakers got absolutely robbed. If Luka Doncic played, we would have swept the OKC gentleman style in 5. But realistically, no. There was the refs could have just never called a foul against the Lakers and never a foul for OKC, and we still would have lost that series in at least 6. That sucks. Like I said, Minnesota only rotates 8. The Spurs play about 12 guys, so the fourth quarter comes around, Minnesota's just gassed. Ant was never really healthy in this series, and that part does suck. But even at 100% health, I don't know if Minnesota has the legs to get this done. It's all setting up for the showdown of the century of San Antonio and OKC in a 7-game series. I am so fired up for that. I am so fired up for that series. It's something we've been waiting for all season. We've been waiting for the bad guy to get taken down. And the only option that we thought is at least possible would be this Spurs team. And brother, here they are. My mic. I need a new XLR cable. So bad. I'm just excited to turn on ESPN and hopefully see Chuck and Shaq get excited for something in the NBA, bro. Hey, that inside the NBA, that shows a hot pile of garbage now, bro. It is so obvious that nobody wants to be there, and whatever they had with Turner was great, and the soulless shills at the Disney Corp completely stripped away all the fun from that show. You would expect a company like Disney to make sports content fun and free and lean more into the world of whimsy, but ESPN has gone so far downhill since Disney purchased them for $1 billion. Good on the investors, bro, to make a bunch of money and buy a really cool super yacht, and now you can pretend to be friends with Gary Bettman. But you ruined a once great product for the fans. The only ESPN shows that are worth a damn are PTI and Pat McAfee, and both of those are completely self-produced. PTI's been around longer than any of the CEOs at Disney or ESPN. Mike Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser have a team of producers that have been with them for 20 years. They are their own standalone thing. They could go off ESPN and still get the views. Pat McAfee was his own show. ESPN just licensed it. The only good things that ESPN is producing is not even done in-house. It's done by their own teams. Bro, I used to wake up every morning and sprint downstairs to turn on SportsCenter so I could catch the top 10 and then see what Stephen A. and Kellerman were arguing about that day. Now I go on First Take, and Stephen A. is arguing with Paul Heyman about how much money they are each making by promoting a WWE event nestled behind yet another ESPN paywall. It costs so much money to watch ESPN, and now most people are getting their sports content elsewhere. You are so obsessed with driving the bottom line so much that now kids around the country are being inundated with gambling ads and beer commercials, all to prop up your stock on Wall Street. Dude, TNT was so fire, dude. I used to watch ESPN wanting nothing more than to grow up and be a pro athlete. Kids now can't wait to grow up to be able to gamble. I've had kids call into my show and tell me yeah, I'm like, how old are you? And they're like, oh, I'm 16. I'm like, oh, sweet, bro. So you drive? Like, yeah, I'm excited to be 18 though, so I can get on DraftKings. It's working. All of the advertising and all over all of the billboards across America and in front of all of our TVs for all of our sports watchers, all of the young children are just getting crushed right now with gambling ads. I get all my sports news from TBWZ. Slinger, you're the absolute man, bro. I love you. For real. Let's hang out Saturday. I used to literally watch ESPN and be like, man, I would love to be Stuart Scott. I'd love to be a host on SportsCenter. Oh, I'd love to be a professional baseball player. Now kids are literally growing up being like, I cannot wait to gamble. Their first paycheck that they're getting from their little high school job once they're a junior and they have a car and they can drive and they're 16. They're spending all of that money from the coffee shop. It's going straight to a DraftKings sportsbook. All ESP, it's designed right now. What they're doing is they're growing up. These kids are growing up watching sports programming, all designed to swindle money away from their nearly empty pockets and putting it back into the hands of the billionaires. It's designed for addiction, not to celebrate the games. ESPN's design and motive operandi is to get you to gamble. It's not to promote the sports. It's not to give you good analysis. It's not to make you more well-informed. It's to get you to click on ESPN Bet, donate your $100 that you just made from the IRS on your tax return, spend it all on a plus 7.5 Spurs game, second half money line. It's all designed for you to put all of your extra spending cash on over 33.5 rushing yards for RJ Hampton. The point is no longer to showcase sports and to highlight the greatness of these athletes and to tell you what's going on or to give you good analysis and X's and O's and things that might have gone over your head or something you might have missed in the game. It's not about all of that stuff. What it's all about, it's bad analysis, it's terrible joke writing, it's awful betting advice, and it's segments like top 5 trade destinations for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, well, that one actually sounds pretty fun. Should we, wait, chat, should we do top 5 trade destinations for Giannis Antetokounmpo? All right, let's do it. Top 5 trade destinations for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I've been saving my money for 2 years now, and hopefully by the end of the year, I'm going to have enough for what I want. Brother's getting a Switch too. Let's go. Jummo, you are the absolute man. Thank you, brother. Top 5 trade destinations for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm going to go through these, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines if anybody wants to talk about their NFL schedule or anything from around the world of sports. At number 5, a lot of people have this as number 1. At number 5, though, wait, should I put it up for you guys so you guys can see it? That's not it. Yeah. Don't look. Wait, don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Yeah. There we go. At number 5, I have Boston. I mean, just end me. If this happens, literally end me. Like, I don't have them on speed dial, but the suicide hotline prevention line, brother, send it my way. Send me away to some far-off destination where they're going to play the international games one day in Pyongyang or Mumbai, India. Bro, the Turkmenistan, like, Titans would be so hard. Kazakhstan? Oh, where are you going this summer? Dude, I'm a sports reporter now. Sorry, I can't make it to your bachelor party. I'm going to be in Manila, Singapore, covering the Seahawks and Titans Week 14. Could you imagine flying to Manila to watch football? I couldn't even imagine what they do in Manila. It's probably awesome. For whatever reason, I feel like those countries just eat green bananas and they eat fruit off the tree. Am I doing something terrible right there? We need the Shanghai Sharks in the NBA. That'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. I redact what I said about Manila. It's probably a cool place. Let's go to TBWZ's first meetup is going to be in Oklahoma City. Number 2, we're doing Manila. We have to. I mean, we have to. Someone has to be there. Do you think there's a TBWZ equivalent of me in Singapore right now? I'm talking about, I don't know, squids and like those boat guys, the Aura farmers. So say congratulations, boy. I ain't how you. Sorry. But for real, if Boston does land Giannis Antetokounmpo, send me to some far-off destination because, brother, I just might end up being on a list for using ChatGPT to help me make a weapon of mass destruction. Here's the reason that Boston could land him. It's very simple. Jaylen Brown and 4 first-round picks, that they have that to offer. That's probably like the best deal that Milwaukee could do. I will say, though, those 4 first-round picks from Boston are not going to be any good. They're all going to be top 20 picks, right? Now, with the flattened lottery odds and maybe some injuries or some things that pop up, sure, maybe one of those could be like a decent top 10 pick. But none of those picks are going to be any good. You trade Giannis to Boston. It's not like you're getting the Suns and the Nets pick. Sorry to the Suns fans. Nets fans, I'm not whatever. Mets, Jets, Nets, losers. Mets, Jets, Nets, Islanders, losers. Can't believe you guys exist. It sucks. Couldn't be me. I'm the Angels. Oh, man. My team sucks so bad. Those number 1 picks are not going to be very good, okay? Are there Nets fans? Put that on the poll. Most have Boston as number 1 right now, but those people are East Coast shills designed to propagate large markets and diminish those less congested states of ours. I am all for... I put a clip on TikTok that we should get rid of the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm just like, yeah, let's get rid of the New Orleans Pelicans. They're just designed to be the 3rd team in a 3-team trade, just getting all the scraps. Or like offloading the bad contracts on Nola. Who's teeing off right now? Who's Unk? Bro, the oldest guy ever is playing right now. What's his name? That's not Gotterup. That's Jaeger. Who's the old guy? Who's Unk right now teeing off in the PGA Championship? Jordan Spieth sucking. Even through 8. Nah, he's okay. It's a tough course. Course is playing hard today. I got in trouble from a bunch of New Orleans fans. And if you want to see some funny comments, just go to that one. People are getting really mad at me for what I said about removing the Pelicans from New Orleans. I mean, like, this team just doesn't, they don't need it. They don't need that team. I am now going to stand up for small markets. I am standing up for small markets from now on and for the rest of my time as your purveyor of passion, your sultan of sports, your leader through the wilderness that is sports. I mean, horrible at talking. Jeez. I'm standing right now. I'm standing up for small market teams from now on. Here I am. My right arm is lifted. I know you can't see it. My right arm is lifted above my head as if I'm as if I'm like you know what I mean, at a protest. That is it's not a BLT, it's a BL mayonnaise or something like that. I don't know. Dude, Instagram was ripping you apart about the Bohemian Rhapsody thing. Yeah, they were absolutely torturing me. We could do a funny show. It'd be like if someone wants to produce this, Oreo, what you could do is every time you call in, you could be like, here's the meanest comment that I saw on a post from your posts. And you could do a mean comment of the day. I need to rep all the small markets, guys. I cannot stand up for the big markets. Speaking of, at number 4, I do have, of course, no, sorry guys, technical difficulties. Where is it? My soundboard. Oh my crap. Holy horses. Speaking of holy horses, I've been playing Red Dead 2. I'm at 89.7% completed. I'm going for 100%. If you don't know, now you know. At number 2, I've got the Miami Heat. Get Bam Adebayo off this team. He is not good enough to be your best player. Throw in Bam, a couple of firsts down the road, and maybe a Jaime Jaquez or a Pelle Larsson, and you got a plenty good return on Giannis. In my opinion, if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, if I get Bam and I get a Pelle Larsson or a Jaime Jaquez and a couple of first-round picks, I'm pretty stoked on that. That's enough to at least build a play-in team. Some good drafting, some good picks along the way, a couple of good pieces here and there, a little outside of the salary cap type stuff, a little woohoo, waha, and you got a good team put together. Miami Heat, bro. I think the league is better when Miami is good. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm a fan of McElroy. Sucks, dude. +2 through 8. He stinks. McElroy's out. Did you guys see Live Golf is going away? I need to talk about that at some point. I'm going to write it down. Live Golf. I need to write an essay. Cooper Flag just announced his relationship. Yes, sir. Plus, the depth would be up there with OKC. It would. For Miami, are you talking about Milwaukee, Slade? Or TK? I think it would be a decent, for Miami, yeah. It'd be a decent return, I think, for the Bucks. Giannis would get to go to Miami. Kel'el Ware is the name here, though, that if I'm Miami, I keep him any way possible. If I'm the Bucks, I'm like, okay, cool, thank you for your offer, but we need Kel'el Ware as a part of it. That is the only part that's really hard for me, bro. I really do think Kel'el Ware is going to be a fantastic basketball player. He's 7'2". He can handle. He's got a decent three-point shot. He's good on the perimeter. He's an awesome defender. He's great inside the paint. I think Kel'el Ware is a very, very talented basketball player. I think they just struggled to play him and Bam at the same time this year. They kind of platooned both of those guys, as it never really worked with both of them on the floor. I know Bam had the 83-point game. He's an all-star, Team USA. He's a good basketball player. Great basketball player. Fantastic basketball player. He's not Giannis, though. I think you have far more upside with keeping Kel'el Ware than keeping Bam Adebayo. Plus, the contracts kind of match up, so it would be kind of an easy 1-2 to get him over to Milwaukee. You wouldn't have to move a lot of other pieces around. Rory McIlroy missed a par putt. He's now going to bogey and be +3. Rory, you stink. Hey, Zach, I need something to do with my channel points. You could use them to... there's stuff you could do, or you can explain it. At number 3, I know, I had to. Give it up for me. The Los Angeles Lakers, brother. Come on now. Why does this keep happening? I press Option and then another tab, and it closes all the tabs around it. It's very, very frustrating. I have the Lakers at 3 because that's my team, and of course I'm going to have them at 3. I would be an absolute loser, bad fan if I did not have my own team at 3. Who could I be? Who am I to deny what my team can do? I really do think, as dumb as it sounds and as homerific as this is, and I know I'm standing up for small markets. I'm a small market person. I'm not a big market shill, even though all of these teams that I'm naming are big market teams. I raised the price on the timeouts to 4,000. I raised the price. The Lakers, dude, are always in it. No matter who the free agent is or no matter how big the name is, the Lakers are always in talks, okay? Because that's who they are. They have 17 championships for a reason. They are LA. They are the destination. Life is good in Southern California, bro. And guys like Giannis want to play here. I know it's so homerific, but that's my team, and I would be an absolute fraud if I did not put them on this list. Here's what we do. We sign and trade Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. Sign both of those guys, 30 and 20, 40 and 30, whatever it is. We sign them and flip them over to Milwaukee, so they get Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, and then we give them every single pick that we've ever had. Just give it all to them. Hey, take Austin, take Rui, and here are all of our picks, okay? And you're like, dude, you can't get rid of the entire future to go get Giannis. Yeah, I can when I'm pairing Giannis Antetokounmpo with Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Can you imagine how sick that team would be? Luka and Giannis together would be an unstoppable force. If Giannis was able to win a chip with Chris Middleton as his number 2, could you imagine what Luka and Giannis could do together? I mean, every hole that Luka has... Pause. Could be filled, wow, pause, by Giannis. Jeez. Giannis would fill all of Luka's holes. All of the holes in Luka's they complement each other, okay? And all the things that Giannis is not good at, Luka is. They would be such a good complement to each other. It'd be so much fun to watch them play basketball. And the fact is, the only place they could possibly do it together, barring something unforeseen and unimaginable, would be in Los Angeles. And I think the NBA world would be better to see them play ball together. It's getting much worse. Number 2, I got OKC. Dude, after the double bogey, Sahith Theegala does get the par. I like Sahith Theegala. Literally a top 5 Indian of all time, for sure. Him and Salma Hayek are my 2 favorites. POV, that one freaky video when Giannis was explaining his button. Yikes. At number 2, I have OKC. Listen, nobody has more picks and young talent to give up than OKC. It would be the best deal for Milwaukee. They could go after AJ Mitchell. They could get Topic off the bench. They could throw in a Case and Wallace. They have name after name after name that they could throw into this trade to sweeten the deal for Giannis. They also have a boatload of picks still. They could ship them all off, and they could solidify their franchise moving forward, build it all around Giannis and Shea. That team, oh my gosh, bro. And Giannis can play the 4. He doesn't want to play the 5. Let Chet play the 5. Giannis can play the 4. That team would be unbelievable. They would not lose. Giannis said that if he pressed a button, his wife did something to him. Oh, gosh. Oreo, be careful sending stuff to the Discord. I got OKC as my number 2 team to land Giannis, dude. I think it would guarantee himself to get at least 2 or 3 more rings. If you put him with Shea, bro, we talked about Luka's holes. If we talk about Shea's holes, Shea doesn't really have holes in his game. He's so good at basketball. That would suck for everybody else. But at number 1, without question, bro, could you imagine what Giannis would look like if he was on the Cleveland Cavaliers? Dude. Oh my gosh, I did it again. I'm going to throw up and die. I'm going to shoot up a hospital. I'm going to go full Joker mode. Not really. But if I had a gun, I don't have a gun. How do you buy a gun? Do you just go to the store? Do you literally just walk into the store and be like, yeah, I'll have that one? All right, here you go. Is it like going to ammunition in GTA? You're like, huh. That one looks cool. Or is it like Red Dead where you like browse the catalog? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, it's a fully automatic weapon. It can be delivered to your house by Tuesday. It comes via Amazon Prime. Do you just walk in and buy one? Not in California? But there's some place in America you just walk in and be like, one gun, please. All right. He's like, the kid is like counting his money. How many guns can I get for $75? It's like, oh, buddy, you can actually get 4. How about, I don't know how much guns are. If they're more than $20, I'm not buying one. That's Texas, said Jumo. Are there Brooklyn Nets fans? Yes, was the winner, 67%. Wow. Rural PA is exactly like this. You just walk in, you're like, yeah, I'll take one of those and one of those. Do you have hollow points? Like, yeah, of course we do, brother. All right. What are you doing? Are you hunting? Self-defense? You just like having extra protection? All right, here you go. Would you like a receipt, printed or emailed? That's crazy, right? No? I don't know. I don't have much of an opinion on it. For real, though, if I was like, I want a handgun just for like extra protection, or if I'm feeling really sad one day, I'm just kidding. If it's more than $200, I'm not buying it. That'd be crazy to walk into a gun store. It's like, that'll be $7,000. Nah, I'm good. All right, I'm good. What are you gonna buy it for? There's some really mean guys at my school. He's like, all right, here, you're gonna want this too. It's called a silencer. This is a horrible, horrible thing. I'm so sorry. God bless you guys. At number 1, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Milwaukee has already said, slightly vocally, that they are pretty high on Evan Mobley. Okay, so you move Mobley to Milwaukee along with every single one of their picks, and then you sign LeBron James. Okay, let's just pump the brakes real quick and think about this ball team. You move Mobley to Milwaukee, so you lose out on Evan Mobley. That's kind of tough, but you get back Giannis, and you sign LeBron James. So now you have a starting 5 of James Harden, Spida Mitchell, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jarrett Allen. That is the sickest looking 2K roster ever assembled in the NBA. That team looks fake, bro. That team would be so awesome, and they probably wouldn't even be that good. The funny part is they wouldn't be that great. That's 82-0. I don't think they would have any depth at all. They like Max Strus and Dean Wade would have to be unbelievable coming off the bench. And Dennis Schroeder and Bronny. Bronny would have to play valuable minutes for that team. Bryson DeChambeau's +9 so far. He's having a horrible day. +3 on the front 9. Yucky, yucky, poop, poop. Yucky, yucky, poop, poop, butt. Bro, Schroeder and Ellis are pretty good, and Sam Merrill. Dude, the starting 5 would be Harden, Spida Mitchell, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jarrett Allen. That would be hard to make in 2K. I implore somebody out there, whether you're in the comments, in the chat, or hanging out with us, try right now on whatever the latest 2K is. Try to actually get that to happen. And try to actually make that roster. I don't even know if 2K would be like, this is possible. Giannis is a ton of money, okay? Spida's obviously a ton of money. James Harden's a ton of money. Jarrett Allen's a ton of money. Giannis would or LeBron would have to sign for like a $15 million 1 year, 1+1 type thing. And then you'd have like $46 to build the rest of your roster out. But it would be so awesome. I think Cleveland would be a great move for Giannis purely because of the insanity of seeing that team put together. Brother, I'm going to go live with my top 5 Giannis trade destinations on TikTok. In about 5 minutes, we're going to be talking ball and taking calls with all of the heathens over there. Additionally, I have my Chargers' first 10 weeks win-loss. I also have a very, very, very important MVP question. I've sought out 5 quarterbacks that I think have the team and potentially the chance to be this year's MVP for the first time ever for all of these quarterbacks. I'm excited to see what the people of TikTok and you guys have to say about who would win MVP between the names of Justin Herbert, Drake May, Bo Nix, Jalen Hurts, and Jordan Love. Those are 5 quarterback names that I think have teams good enough and surrounding talent and skill to potentially be MVPs in this league. The question is, do you think any of those guys can get it done this year? Fellas, we're going to be taking a 5-minute break. I do not know what the break video is. I'm sorry about that, but I will be back with you in 5 minutes. Thanks for watching.